Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. The ancient people of God, Aries was like to start their new year. They started the new year with the ram, and even the name Abraham is taken from the ram. So here we are at the beginning of a new start. So once again, welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gat, your host. What you're looking at is really just a compatibility chart. We already did the left side of it. We're going right into the right side. We're starting off with Aquarius, first house. And this is what it's all about right now. Right now, Saturn is in Aquarius. It's right all about Aquarius. Astrologers are saying that we're going to a new start. The old way is being torn down and the new way is coming up. And they say the new way will be more about the community, like it used to be in the good old days, so to say. So this person will be feeling that, but they'll also be feeling the weight of Saturn on them. Saturn wants to get it done, and when Saturn is in Aquarius, it's trying to push you to be more concerned about the people around you. And right now, as of Sunday, I'll just say Sunday. It's only a few more days. As of Sunday, April 5th, 2020, Saturn will be in Aquarius in the 6th house. You'll see that chart out here on this channel, and so this person will be more concerned about the home. I know for a fact a lot of stuff is going wrong in the home. Astrologers, primarily Terry Nassan, one of the best in the world. The other one is Michelle Knight in Britain, England. So they're all telling you about the home. Be concerned about the home or things in your neighborhood as well. All right, give me one moment. Gotta do a couple of things here. Like I said, give me a moment. So now this is in Aquarius, 8 degrees. Now once again, 8 degrees or number 8 on a Rider-Waite tarot cards is usually Leo, the Strength card, but on some decks it's actually Justice, the Libra energy. So I'm sure as we go through his chart, we'll figure out what it is. 8 degrees, 27 minutes. That 27 usually means the diplomat. But again, we'll learn more as we go. The ascendant is also his rising sign. It's showing where the sun was going over the horizon when he was born. That was in the Aquarius constellation. The EP is East Point, where the sun was going over the ecliptic when he was born, and that usually has to do with a person's ego. 14 degrees, and number 14 card is Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. With the number 20, which is the Judgment card, which is Pluto energy. So that Temperance and that Pluto has a lot to do with internal transformation. But whenever you're dealing with Pluto and Scorpio, you're going into the so-called the world of the mystic world, the darker elements of soul, but even the metaphysical change or the alchemy. So believe it or not, this person is somewhat deep, even though outwardly they may not appear that way. And Aquarius says, I know. That's Aquarius's motto. But sometimes Aquarius doesn't really know. They try to use words, but they really don't know what the word means. Like if they said something, if you ask them to define what they're talking about, they wouldn't be able to. That's the uniqueness about Aquarius. Aquarius says I know, but they really don't know. And Aquarius and Leo, they tend to get into it because they're on opposing sides. Just go right across the chart. There's Leo. I'm a Leo, and I know I generally don't get along with Aquariuses. We tend to argue. We agree to disagree or whatever. But it's fun though. So there's his Juno. So he will find himself in a serious relationship with a Leo at some point in his life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, Leo, Libra, just like I said over here. So I hope you guys were listening. Because I explained it in the first house, but you see it being revealed in the seventh house. First house is I am. Ruled by Aquarius. Not by Aquarius. Ruled by Aries. I am is Aries' motto. I am. And I believe Leo's motto is I will. So Juno, and it's some type of legal situation going on with that because of the 25. That could be universal law, but often when it's universal law, you'll also have some type of legal situation going on as well. Legal situation going on as well. And we'll talk more about his seventh house, house of relationships, contracts, karma, law, open enemies, agreements. We'll talk more about that house when we get there. So I said Aquarius is about the people, organizations, social issues. But Aquarius likes their freedom. They tend to be non-traditional, non-conforming. Their ruler is Uranus, which you see Uranus over there duking it out in the 12th house with Capricorn. Now, next item is that True North node. That looks like a little horseshoe. Every True North node should have that aura, that retrograde. That is the only thing on your natal chart that should have that retrograde. It's 11:11 a.m. Holla. Anything else that has a True North node, anything else that has an aura is telling you about a retrograde or some past life stuff. Check out. So his True North node has that Aries energy, 4 degrees. That's interesting. 4 degrees. But now it's number 29. 4 degrees, 29 minutes. So it's not 29 degrees, which would make it an anaretic degree, but it's still the same type of energy. So this dude's got a lot of internal stuff going on. I'm starting to see him as a past life type thing. He's got a lot of internal stuff going on. He might even have some internal anger going on, but he's got that emperor complex going on. Because sometimes you see those quiet people, but they don't want to be quiet. They wish they were running the shit. So he's got a lot of karmic. It looks like past life karma, dealing with that Aries complex. Maybe he was some type of leader in a past life, but he's kind of carrying it internally. So he would need to really go internal and bring it out because he's hiding it. See, look at Pisces. See, Pisces and Neptune rule the 12th house, and that's all about inner stuff, subconscious stuff, past life stuff, inner stuff. So you got to be real careful with that. Real careful. Go to the next soulmate, Pallas. People say soul. They say that Pallas is not a soulmate asteroid, but it is. But look at that, 16 degrees. That Mars energy, the Tower card. So you got to be careful with this one, because Pisces is saying, "Hey, everybody, I love," and this is the money house, ruled by Taurus. Money, possessions, and value system. Hey, let me help the people. I'm inspirational. I'm spiritual. Let me help the people with my money. But internally, he's saying something different. Internally, he's got some drama going on. The type to trigger. Watch for the trigger. When the trigger comes out, you'll see a totally different person. And Mercury is 26 degrees, and that's that God degree. That God degree. God's word one way or another. But you just got to be careful. Because underneath all that spiritual talk and wanting to help the people is anger. Probably past life anger. Probably repression. So he needs to get it out so he can heal. And that's why he probably has somewhat of a unique 12th house. Keep an eye on planet Neptune and the 12th house. Now, get to the 3rd house, you begin to see it. See that red line? Just like I told you, going to the 12th house. That's that inner angst, that inner anger. But now, it's in the 3rd house, which is the communication house, the creativity house, the brother house, the young people, the extremely young people house, media house. And he's got Aries, aggression. So his 1st house and his 3rd house are kind of working together. So he could be a leader in creativity, leader in communication. And now you see why he had that number 8 degrees in his 1st house. Because there it is. Leo's ruler, right? I was just standing, I was singing to my son this morning. Walked outside, singing to the sun. Had a very deep night last night and early morning. And I do talk about that in a video. The 3 charts that I was supposed to put on this channel, because of the content, I decided to put it on the my other channel. Because on that channel, I go hard. On that channel, we try not to water anything down on that channel. I go hard. And last night was definitely last night I was out there with just me and the planets and the stars and a family member of the person I'm always talking about, which I decided to bring that to its conclusion for the sake of sanity and keep it moving. So all that went down last night. So in that video, it's a 3-hour video for a friend of mine. I've known her for a while. Those 3 charts were her, but me and her are so connected that it began to talk to me too. So I really went in. Kind of like I went to the stars last night and said enough is enough. And then I woke up with the sun, my ruler, singing to the sun for a new beginning, a new day, right at the spring, because God's people always start their year off in Aries. And that's where he's at now, sun sign Aries. So I'm assuming he also is a beginning type person. He may not like to work things through. He may not like to finish stuff, because that's how Aquarius is. Aquarius, and this is the 3rd house Gemini. Gemini is the same way. Gemini ain't trying to go in for the long term. That's one thing Gemini and Aquarius have in common. They don't like to go too deep, and they don't like to go in for the long term. So this guy's loves, even his love is 3. Look at that, 3. But that's Empress. So that's probably his twin right there. Empress. So you can already tell he has a Libra, Taurus, Venus energy connection. But he don't like to go too long, and he don't like to go too deep. And even Venus is about children. Now that Venus, that's the Empress card, number 3. And she's also about creativity, building projects, nature, but children as well. So he may even have a child-like personality. And you never know, because he may be an indigo child, crystal child, sensitive child. These type like them, like me, that's with me. I got that boyish stuff about me. But I'm still here. Like, people don't understand. If I had to say the manly stuff about me so much, I would have been out here a long time ago. So a lot of people don't understand. Like when they give you the duality, they give you Peter Parker and Spider-Man. They give you Clark Kent and Superman. And everybody looks at the superhero. But they don't realize it's actually the one you think is the wimp. He's the one that keeps that other machine going. If it wasn't for Peter Parker, there'd be no freaking Spider-Man. He would have been out of there a long time ago. If it wasn't for Clark Kent, there'd be no Superman. It's actually the nerd, the nice guy that keeps the other guy going. So I would take my nerdy side and my sensitive, wimpy, cryy side over the strong one anytime. Because anybody can go anywhere and make people do what you want them to do. But when a nice guy can still get the job done, to me, that's what's amazing. So when you say the amazing Spider-Man, I'd say the amazing Peter Parker. The amazing Gary. The other side of me, to bully or to dominate, that's easy. So in his third house, he's got that Aries aggression going on. Got to watch that mouth, though. So this is the communication house. So what I'm saying, if he's pushed, that inner stuff comes out, and it'd be like if somebody just shot you with a automatic machine gun. Not to be effed with. Now you see where it's going. Capricornian, Aries, Gemini. So all that is really communication, but then getting down to business. And then it jumps over to the 10th house. Where I told you, Scorpio, I told you. Underworld, mystical person, alchemy, internal changing. I would almost say that his 10th house is karmic, but it's his revelation. All that stuff that's going on internally in the 12th house and all those other areas I said are being shown out in the 10th house, and it looks like the 5th house. So he's got some weird shit going on with the sun that can represent the masculine, the father, the ego, but it's internally. It's almost like the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that's why I said Easter. That's why I said that ram, that springtime. So he's a death rebirth type of guy. Death rebirth type of guy. Because I lack a better word, but I say mystical, but I just lack a better word. He's the type of person you want to sit down with and say, tell me what's really going on with you. Tell me what you really think. And then look at his 10th house. Got the moon right there. This really is a weird... This guy has lived many, many past lives. This is really a weird connection between the mama moon and the papa sun. So if I saw this dude, I would call him Papa Sun. And everywhere he's at, he letting you know he ain't want to be fucked with. Now, when you follow his third house to Gemini, look what's waiting for you. Mars. They're ready to fuck you up, and he always about that dollar. Because almost in everywhere you looking, he got that Capricornian, I'm gonna get my money mentality. This dude's probably been military and or gangster in past lives. And a lot of this is going on internally. Externally, people might not know it. Externally, people might not know it. But only in his third house, he's not trying to hide it. Because that's the verbal house, the writing house, the creativity house, the mental house, the thought process. So for some reason in his third house, he's not afraid to show you who he really is. Now let's get his third house numerology. 3. And what's that other number? 11. Would you like the master teacher? But again, that could be the Libra card. That could be the Libra card, Justice. Because he's got some type of Libra love connection, just like I said. Justice. Or it could also be the Leo card, the Strength card, which is still a twin flame card. Really, the Justice card and the Strength card can be twin flame cards. And when I say twin flames, it could actually be your actual twin flame, but it could actually be whoever you find yourself in that relationship with. But like I said, sometimes you just don't end up with your twin for whatever reason. And the fact of the matter is, this is the person you've been with lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. So sometimes you may not want to be with that person. In a different lifetime, you might want to be with somebody else. Taurus at 5 degrees. Well, the sun is 5 degrees. Remember, 5 can be Leo, but it can also be the Taurus card. The Taurus card. But he seems like the type of guy that's not afraid to fight for love, to go for love, and he wants that love. Not just need, not just an emotional need. This is an aggressive want. Like he will pursue it. Fourth house, ruled by Cancer. Remember, third house communications, media publishing. Fourth house, friends. Fourth house, teenage to adult education, land, property, or real estate. Ancestors and family. Teenage to adult education, health, vehicle and travel. The mother in the subconscious mind, Imom Coeli. But for some reason, not too much going on in his fourth house. Taurus in the fourth. Could be somewhat of a stubbornness going on there, bullying going on there. Taurus tends to put value on everything, so you got to be careful with putting value on whichever the fourth house, especially when it comes to people. Fifth house, once again, Gemini, somewhat of a childlike approach to it. And you got to be careful with Mars in the fifth house. It could be aggressive desire competition, but also it could be meanness towards children when you have Mars in the fifth house. It doesn't have to mean that, but it could, so you have to be careful with that. And you see his Mars is 9 degrees. Why is that? That is the home. That is the home Virgo energy, which rules the sixth house. And you see the family in the sixth house of the home, but it's Virgo energy, and it's the Hermit. So he's going internal again. But the Hermit will go out in public, but he has his own way of thinking. So the Hermit card is an internal card. Some people think that it's not, but it is, because he's keeping all his thinking and stuff like that internally. He's got his own light, how he sees things. It's just interesting to me that he chooses his third house to come out, though. So he's got some type of Gemini complex. And I'm assuming it was some type of past life experience. It was some type of past life Gemini experience that made him somewhat of an angry person. This could be a gangster that had been somebody ratted him out. Somebody, Tekashi 6ix9ine his ass. And that's why if you look at it, 6ix9ine right there in the sixth house with that Virgo energy I'm talking about. Because Virgo's kind of saying his secrets, keep it shut. Keep it shut. But it looks like a Gemini did him dirty. And also remember that they're both ruled. Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. See, that's speaking. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. And apparently somebody didn't keep their mouth shut. And see, just think about what I'm trying to tell you. See, his Mercury was in his second house. That's money. So to me, it looked like in a past life somebody kind of ratted this dude out, and he's still carrying that. He's still carrying that. So whenever you see Taurus, and it could have been a family member. See what I'm saying? You gotta understand this chart is him, and that's why he don't feel close to family, because it costs him money. So now he got this whole family, sixth house, home shit going on that he's not cool with it. He hasn't gotten over it yet. He still carried that in this life. So when he thinks about family, he's thinking about that person that ratted him out or betrayed him. and cost him a lot of money and shit. It still got that war. And that's why he said 9 degrees and 8, because it's eighth house. It's the underworld. But it could also it could have been his lover in the past life, because the 8 card is also still a strength card, still Leo energy. But in his 5th house, because all this is karmic, you got good fortune. And the 5th house can also be your past life, your ego. So that's called part of fortune or good fortune. And as you see, you know I'm getting I'm right, because it's Jupiter, once again, money, but it's 2 degrees, which could be your partner, but that could also be the high priestess. Because whether people want to admit it or not, anything that goes down, she's kind of behind it. Just like she sends the fool off the cliff with his dog, and that dog represents the underworld. And once again, 27, that diplomat. See, he was listening to somebody who he thought he could trust, and unfortunately got double crossed or just betrayed. That's why, look, you see 827 with his ascendant, and then you see 827 in his 5th house. That's how you know I know what I'm talking about. And then when you see part of fortune, it's 25 degrees, which makes it like law. So in this life, he might win a lawsuit and make some money, but he's really winning that lawsuit because of past life stuff. Money is due him past life, and he's getting it now. There. Then when we go into his 6th house, which is his home, health, service, young people, small animals, it's Chiron, healing at 1 degree. But once again, one is Mercury energy. Once again, why is it Mercury energy? Because I already told you, somebody ratted him out back now, and he's karmically getting money now. But this is past life stuff. And Saturn and Aquarius right now is going to affect him one way or another. Positive way, he might even get some more money, or in a negative way. And then again, it was a family member that ratted him out because it's healing in the 6th house. See, this is still karmic, still that Virgo energy. And remember, right, on Sunday, the moon will be in Virgo. So he will be seeing during this time, it may have already happened, but during this time with Saturn and Aquarius, that's the main reason Saturn is going to do, is either going to pay him money owed from a past life or take something from him for basically the same reason. See, now Juno, 25 again. Juno retrograde is infidelity. Infidelity. But what I'm trying to tell you, it looks like what it's looking like in a past life. You might have had 2 fire signs, and they were headbutting. They were headbutting, and he got sold out. He got sold out. So that's that whole infidelity. It could have actually been infidelity, like somebody cheating, but this looks more like an agreement that was broken. See, this is Libra. I told you, this is the house of agreement. Broken. And it became karmic. See, like I try to teach people, even when you study Mayat, you can't just break somebody's heart in Mayat. See, out here, people just say, oh, I don't understand it, or I'm not happy, and they just break somebody's heart. Could care less. In this realm, 3rd dimensional. But they don't understand this realm of white supremacy. It's limited. That's why it's breaking down. They were gods, but only for a period of time. Their time is just about up, and you're going to have to go back to universal law. That's why you see 27, 26. That's God. 25 is universal law. I told you, I was out with the stars last night, driven outside. driven outside for shit that was happening. Y'all should listen to that video on the other channel. All you got to do if you don't want to hear the whole talk, fast forward to where you see the space map. And that's when all kind of strange shit started happening. And I ended up outside. And who came out of... Now, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning. Who came out of nowhere but the brother of my twin? And just about a week ago, I was outside in my yard, and her father was across the street working in that yard. So that's why I say people don't understand. You think you can just walk away. You cannot just walk away. This is universal. You're so happy obeying this human matrix that's based on white supremacy, but that's all coming down. You're gonna have to answer to whoever heart you broke and all that. You still gotta answer. That's karma. That's why Rosa can't sleep. She's 9 of Swords. She can't sleep because she's being tormented because of a whole lot of stuff she did. See, when the universe brings your twin to you, it's giving you the opportunity to correct whatever went wrong. And we can argue all day who's the twin and all that, but that's a third dimensional thought process. This is greater than third dimension. That's why when I say twin flame, I'm using it in the context of this person you have some type of business with. The universe is bringing you because you have a karmic connection to this person that you're supposed to be working it out with one way or another. And most people don't understand it because they're in third dimension. And it's too deep. They don't want to go deep. Third dimension dumbs you down. Third dimension makes you sex hungry, money hungry. And then you really don't worry about anything else. But the universe is still going to bring you into karma, to karmic judgment. That's why this is going on in the 7th house. It's the courthouse. Libra energy, the courthouse. The scales of Ma'at. See, when you see those scales, you think, oh, that's Lady Liberty. Oh, that's Lady Justice. No, it's not. It's Ma'at. You're letting white supremacy take the real universal science and dumb it down to this crap that's about to be out of here. Time is up. Clock is ticking. So people should become more aware of Ma'at and universal law. So there you go. I told you Virgo's behind it. There you go. Virgo in the 8th house. And once again, the vertex cross with that Jupiter energy again. Because remember, at one time, Jupiter was ruling space. So he's like the head judge or the Jesus Christ is Jupiter. This is why it's, oh, Julia, I'm Julius Caesar. Why is he saying Julia? Oh, I'm a Jew. Why? Why do you want to be a Jew? Because they're tapping into that bountiful Jupiter energy. They know what they're doing. They're taking your science and using it against you. And you don't know it anymore because you've been ripped off. Hoodwinked. Peace out to any of y'all know who Michael DeFazio is? Michael DeFazio, hoodwinked by an angel. He's talking about the deception that the devils have put on you, showing you on your dollar bill what's really going on there. Hoodwinked by an angel. Michael Fazio, I believe his name is. I was on his website. Yeah, I sent him a comment just last night. Give me a moment, please. So like I said, if you were to see that video, what was going on in space when I was let outside, and then why did her brother come up the street? Because the universe was calling him as a witness. And he took off. Because I was out there and that dude came around the corner. It's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just out there bugging the fuck out. And then he comes. Because it's a universal witness. And it's a universal calling. And that's why when I said I started this off with a new beginning. And that's what Saturn is doing as well. So once again, we want to make sure we get the, just give me a moment. Because I'm trying to see if I have his chart before I made it into two charts. And I think this is it right here. But see, the 8th house is karmic also. The 8th house is also court. A lot of people don't know that. Anything with karma is court. Just say the word. It almost sounds like karma court. Same thing. And then they got the cross. So like right there, you got the vertex. For court, for karma, court, or court. If you take karma and put the T, cart, or court. See my point? And you see it right there. You see the cross right there. 10 degrees, Jupiter or the judge. Because Jupiter can either bring you money or take it away from you. I don't know if you guys know that. And then 8 is because 8 again is that underworld. But 8 can be that Leo energy. But it can also be 8th house energy. Scorpio. Sometimes you got a remote control. You can use your remote for this. Or you can use it for that. All numerology is the same way. All this is magic. All this is science. And the more you know it, the more you get it. So the home is still being judged. The home is still being judged. Because like I said, this is somebody ratted. Somebody ratted in the past life. Either somebody ratted on him or whatever. But that's what this chart is primarily about. Not saying it's not other things. What people have to understand how this works. Like somebody might say, well, I'm a guitar player. How come it doesn't say, you didn't mention that? Because that's a card reading. You got to ask the archangels. Then the archangels will show you what house to go to and what sign to look for. And they'll give you better understanding with the cards. But this predominant read right now is letting you know he's under a karmic judgment from past life. And it affected his family and his home. That's why you see it. Virgo represents the home or the 6th house. And Cancer represents the family or the 4th house. Now, and again, when I say family, that can include your soulmate or your twin flame. Because now in the 9th house, see, the 9th house is the higher court, but you're still dealing with that Mars Aries energy, and she's strong. She's strong, because that's Lilith. Strong, but that couple is still being judged. Now, without the judgment, this would be this person has business maybe, and maybe long distance or foreign countries. The 9th house is also in-laws, higher courts. There could be some type of business agreement, some type of relationship where you're traveling with your partner. And let's see if we can find anything about Lilith in the 9th house. So just give me a moment. All right, let me try it again. I'm going to try to close. Let me see. See, karma is not something you mess with, because things happen to people and they don't understand why, but a lot of times that's karma. and they can't figure out why something happened. Right now, this is Astro Codex, one of my favorite websites. He goes extremely deep. So he's going to tell us about Lilith in the ninth house. Bear with me, getting everything ready. All right. Now I'm giving you a little bit more about how this really works. Now, last night, the moon was in Gemini. That's the twins. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. What I went through, that's definitely that was a universal trial. Because when people do violate that and they think they're gonna get on with their lives, they're not. Like say you marry somebody else, your marriage can't be blessed. Not by the universe. Like, back in the good old days before the pandemic, people would go to a priest or something and try to have him bless it. But if the universe ain't blessing it, that's gonna be a problem. Like that's gonna be like you know, pretty much condemned to failure. It may still last for, depending on the people, how much they want to stay, or how much, the family has a say in it. They may still last, but it's condemned. That's how the universe works. A lot of people don't know that because that's the unseen. But even if you read scripture, the scripture is always telling you about the universe. Always. There's a reason for that. Heavens declare the glory of God. Stuff like that. But it's a whole tons of scriptures with the universe. And if you go back to the ancient, like Egyptians, they knew that. That's why everything they did was about above. So that's why this guy has some type of unique Gemini. Because just look at his chart. Everything Gemini. Third house is ruled by Gemini, Aries. Gemini in the sixth house, Mars. See, he's got that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can see it on his chart. That's a silent sign of twin flame betrayal. The eights and 11s. The Libra, the seventh house. See? Seventh house, Leo. But Juno is retrograde. Yeah, that's people don't realize how powerful that shit is. That's why when you think, oh, they went in a separation because they didn't know or they didn't understand. Yes, they did. They knew in their subconscious mind. They knew in their dreams, but they just decided to go their way anyway. And when you attack a person, like when you attack somebody that totally loved you, and they got like an impeccable reputation, and you're lying on a person just because you want to do bad, that shit don't go well with the universe. It don't go well with God and shit. And I already seen Rosa go through that. Can't even sleep at night because of the conscious and the dreams and shit. And if people are not careful, that's when they become suicidal and shit. So this is not a joke by any way, shape, or form. But now we're going to read Sagittarius. Excuse me. Lilith in the ninth house, but the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So on your chart, Lilith Kin. Now this is astrocodex.com. Lilith in the ninth house. He's saying Lilith can be a low sentiment cold side and deals with a lot of doubt and negative tendencies. Usually it's hidden subconscious energies, malice, and self-undoing. And let me just try to explain to you. Notice he's got all this going on in the third house and the ninth house. Both of those houses are about publishing. Getting back to what I said. Kind of like getting ratted out, like I said. Now, it happens to have the scales of justice in the ninth house, which is the higher courts. And everywhere where you see Mars or Aries energy is number 16, which is the Tower card, which is the Mars energy. Because these are areas in his past life where he was batted out. And he's angry, and he's mad, and he's threatened. But sometimes when motherfuckers get triggered or they bipolar or something, sometimes we think something happened to them in this life, but it's not. Sometimes that's past life shit. And people trying to figure out, why is that guy so angry? He came from a nice family. But that's why. It's a past life shit. So Lilith is there for the payback. So you got to understand, in the modern world, this is how he's going to be. Whether he hides it well or not. Because I'm telling you, he's going to have issues with Libra energy. He's going to have issues with Libra situations. Gemini as well. And even you go to his 11th house, there's Sagittarius, but ain't nothing there. So a lot of doubt and negative behaviors. So Lilith can hide subconscious energies of malice and self-undoing. Lilith in the ninth house is not the best placement. They say that Lilith is in her fall in the sign of Sagittarius. And now you see why Sagittarius is all by herself over there in the 11th house. And he says Lilith has a lot of dark powers. So Lilith in the ninth house, because the ninth house is about philosophy, but also the sharing of views. But Lilith becomes very dogmatic in philosophy. And that's one thing a woman don't like, is somebody telling her what to do and all that. So that won't work too cool in the ninth house. In Libra. So Lilith in the ninth house will use their belief system really just to dominate the people. And like somebody calling himself a reverend or a pastor or something like that. But he's using the Bible to get you to obey him, to give him your resources and stuff like that. So he's not using the Bible for the right reason. So this type of person can be addicted to power. So everything they see, they're trying to use it to their advantage. Is 1222. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. So they said this person will be connected to power, addicted to power, connected with teaching. And you can see that because almost every house is like media houses and communication houses. And they say this person can be an energy vampire. And they're a master at getting you to believe their bullshit. Now, once again, I'm at Astro Codex, Lilith in the ninth house. AstroCodex.com, Lilith in the ninth house. So they said this person can be a troll, like 50 Cent, a cynic, a taboo breaker, and they probably like black humor. So Lilith in the ninth house is going to neglect the principles that education can offer. Lilith in the ninth house does not recognize the universities, institutes, and professors as authority. So they'll take they'll take the knowledge that's out there and turn it around and use it the way they see fit. They said if this person does try to go to school, higher education, he will be a nervous and distracting influence to the people around him, like fellow students and stuff. Lilith in the ninth house will have a rebellious character. Rebelling against the authority or the established way of doing things. And they have no problem with gossiping. And they try to get followers. Like, they'll go against shit and and get followers and shit. So if you were a teacher, that's a student you would look at and go, why are you here? Just what is your purpose? Because Lilith in the ninth house is gonna go against everything you doing just to do it. And I know those type of people. Like, what the? Why are you here? What is your purpose? Like, it seems like all you want to do is just go against everything. And they say if this person has difficult Mars or Mercury aspects, they told him to be very careful what you are teaching other people. And you see her Lilith, I believe, is Mars 16 degrees is the Mars energy. Yep. And remember, I'm saying ninth house, but this is also Libra. It's also going to affect relationships as well. Said this person may also create hidden enemies. And they're warning them, don't preach ideas you know that can cause discord, because your hidden enemies are going to increase. So that they say this person, if they're publicizing their beliefs or whatever, they're going to have problems with people, foreigners, because the ninth house is the house of foreigners, foreign lands and stuff like that. So especially if these people have a strong Lilith in their chart, this person will aggravate them and they become enemies. So it's this person might experience unexpected situations, power games. So the way this person writes will be kind of somewhat dark or cynical or in your face or challenging you. So he might like dark poetry, literature, but also deep sexuality, showing different layers of the soul. Sick imaginations, taboo stuff. This person can be a writer, publisher, and he said they could achieve great success if Jupiter or Venus are present. He said and Mercury as well. So they say Lilith in the ninth house can be a state-of-the-art liar. A state-of-the-art liar. They get you to believe that, but it's a whole bunch of bullshit. So Lilith in the ninth house is a master at masquerading his lies under his words, diverting other people's attention, and generally he's a master of deceit. So I got my master's at community college. Masters of deceit at community college. Would that be the ninth house or a lower house? So they say his lies can even have a strong theoretical background, a whole philosophy behind them, but he's still lying. Sounds good, but it's a lie. but he will be easily believed, especially by the masses, like Adolf Hitler. So Lilith in the ninth house will have sexual adventures with foreigners or with people of other religions. They say he may be making long and distant trips for sexual reasons. But remember, the ninth house is also technology. So they say he may go to foreign locations or whatever just for the purpose, primarily for the purpose of sex. So this is the type of person that can create a cult around their ideas, even though their ideas are fake and phony. So Lilith in the ninth house has a very powerful gift of influencing others with their words. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Lilith's in the ninth house. So apparently they will view their partner as their flunky or servant. All right, once again, 10th house is supernatural. So that's career and reputation. He'll be making his money off of the 10th house. Now he has to be careful of evil spirits. Whenever you have Cancer, the Moon, Scorpio, or Pluto connection on your chart, that person has to be very, very careful of being affected by, even influenced by, or even possessed by evil spirits. So when you mess around with that, you got to know how to protect yourself and proper grounding and on and on and on. So Pluto retrograde is something is impactfully taken away from this person, whatever it is. And this is the career and reputation. 14 degrees is still a ninth house. Temperance, Sagittarius, internal changing. Give me one moment. We're going to look that moon up. And that is the return. 18 degrees, that is the moon card. 18 degrees is the moon. But that 24 is the return. So once again, he's doing that with somebody from his past. Could be the twin flame, maybe, maybe not. 19 degrees is the sun again. And usually the sun in the 10th house has some connections to the father. But it's definitely a masculine energy. So that even that's twin flame. You got 19 and 18, the sun and moon card. So that's twin flame. And once again, 26. But why is he 26? Because we already learned he's going to be a master of making you think that what he's saying is from God. And that's interesting because that's the house of Saturn or Satan. Now his Sagittarius is totally empty. This is the 11th house, supposed to be about friends, association, groups, and all that, but it's totally empty. So now there's a reason for that. But either way, it's connecting back to his 9th house. 12th house, all about secrets, buildings, past lives, karma, servicing others, things that are in your subconscious mind hidden in the closet, secret enemies, things that you need to pull out of the closet and deal with. 2 degrees and 24. See that 24 again. So Vesta, but Vesta is always, especially Vesta in the 12th house is definitely dealing with isolation, because Vesta can deal with isolation as well. But it's still somebody that had like usually a female, or it could be a boy, but it's a spiritual rape, a literal rape. So I believe that 24, like I said, kind of like the flunky, kind of like the flunky. That's the female that he views as his sole purpose, because this guy has some type of priest or Messiah complex. See, even Uranus, 5 degrees could be the Pope card, the Hierophant. That's Taurus energy. So Uranus again, but remember, Uranus rules Aquarius. And when you go to his 11th house that's ruled by Aquarius, there's nothing there. So this might even be a foreign female or something that he's got inside of her head, and he's just using her basically as his spiritual fuck toy, for lack of better words. Seeing this obsession too, and that's what the devil card is. See, he's got a lot of he literally has a lot of Saturnian Capricornian energy, but it's like the devil, because he's acting just like the devil. Obsession, and the 12th house can be very obsessive, whether people know that or not. Now Neptune, again, deception, and the Hangman, but he's in his own little zone, and he likes it. See, he doesn't want you there. And I think we read that earlier. This person doesn't want you around because he's going to do what he wants to do. So if you come into his world, it's his world. Now, there's a man named Brother Stare I talk a lot about. He's like that. Especially when he was younger and he had the energy and stuff. Because if you came around, the first thing he did was run up on you, because he wanted to see if he could control you. Because if he couldn't control you, he got rid of you immediately. So he would come up to you and say some disrespectful shit just to see if you took it. And he would see if he could bully you right away. Even if you called him on the phone, he was like that. He said he just wants to, because he's saying he's down with Jesus, but it's really a cult that's down with him. And that's why he was molesting children, getting away with it. Everybody in the cult knew it, and they didn't do nothing about it, because they believe he was speaking from God. "17 degrees is Aquarius." But now, why do you think they put Aquarius with it? Isn't Aquarius a star card? Isn't a star card inspirational? It is, but he's a master at making you believe it. He's a master making you think he's speaking for the star. He's a master making you think he's speaking for the star energy. And remember, the star energy is a good Aquarius, but when you go to the house ruled by Aquarius, it's nothing there but Sagittarius. Because you got to ask yourself, why isn't anything there? Then remember, this is a karmic house, but it's still Saturn or Satan. And that's death or Scorpio energy. So his 12th house is going right back to his 10th house. Like, this is real Saturnian or Satan energy. And it's the moon again. So that's why I told you, he's got some type of moon, Saturn, Capricornian, but it's kind of like a cultic, evil. I'm just gonna say evil energy, especially with Scorpio. That's all Hades and hell and the dead. Because remember, Scorpio is the 8th house. Pluto rules it, but that's like this called Hades. Pluto's is Hades. So he's definitely working with that energy. And he's able to take what's good and true and flip it and make it serves him. That's like when you see them preachers and they make people believe, oh, he touched me. And as soon as he touched me, they was shaking and fall on the floor and shit. But they're trained. Like, they really believe that shit. I mean, I think some of them do have power, but a lot of them just be the hype. Oh, I'm supposed to fall now, so they just fall or something. Jamaica, man. You can see it on the chart. But either way, that does conclude this order, this request. Keep in mind, I got a lot of sales offer, 20% off total. Make sure you have the most recent services offered and price list. God bless.